Hello, beautiful souls. Welcome back to my channel. Today's reading is an all time fave. What are people realizing about you? I have two piles for you to choose from. You are welcome to pick both, but please remember to pick using your intuition. I'm going to give you all a second to pick, and then we're going to go ahead and get started with pile number one. Alrighty, we're going to go ahead and get started with pile number one. So, pile number one, what are people realizing about you? So, people are realizing that they lost permanent access to you. So, keyword here is permanent. Okay, so there are people who you've dealt with, pile number one, who are very much used to going back and forth with people and having like on and off again kind of connections, and you're just not somebody who entertains that. So whenever you're done with somebody and you're really done, it's like people are shocked because they expected to at least come back for more, or to have some more you know, energy going with you, but it's like you cut it off. You may even be somebody who does like cord cutting rituals as well. And it's like people can feel you pulling your energy back from them. And it's not something that they're used to. So people really reflect on your absence. Pile number one. People realize that when they lose you, there's no going back. You're not that kind of person that backtracks. It's like, once you leave something in the past, it's in the past for good. So I feel like people mourn the loss of you, pile number one, as if you were, as if you've perished, but it's not that you've literally, perished. It's that you're no longer existing in their life. You no longer exist on their timeline and their frequency. I feel like what separates you from a lot of these people is your mindset. It really is a mindset thing, okay? Because our mind controls reality, and I feel that you've learned to really master your thoughts and the things you consume and the things you feed yourself and your mind. And you've realized that certain people don't feed you, they don't nourish you, they don't pour back into you. So you've separated yourself from a lot of people, pile number one. Okay, let's get into these cards. The first card is the Ten of Swords. So this is why I was saying that people mourn the loss of you. It's like really hard to take, because we know the number 10 is about completion. You have completed a lot of cycles with people. You've broken out of a lot of patterns that have held you back, especially patterns that were negative. I feel like you've evolved from a lot from the past, and a lot of people from your past are still stuck in those cycles. They don't understand how somebody can just not want anything to do with them, but it's like you've gotten clear about time. And I say that because we know time is an illusion. Yes, it is. But at the same time, let's look at time in a more nuanced way, because when I'm saying time, I'm referring to the timeline of your lifetime. I was getting it mixed up. I'm referring to the timeline of your lifetime, and it's like you really don't have time to waste. This is what I'm referring to. So it's like you are somebody, pile number one, you could have like lost a lot of family members or just had a lot of relationships end, and it taught you the value of having good connections and being able to sever the ones that don't serve you, because we don't have forever on earth. We don't know when it's going to be our last day, and life is short, so it's like you're somebody who you want to enjoy life while you're here, and you would rather enjoy it with people who pour into you, people who make your life easier, not harder. So I feel like you've separated yourself permanently, and it's like no redos, it's no backseas, it's no backspace. It's like it's gone. They can't recover anything, because I don't know why somebody here could be into computers or technology, because I'm seeing like a deleted file and somebody's trying to recover it and they can't. And it's like that's how you are. It's like once you exit somebody's life, it's kind of like you go incognito. They can't find you. You may be somebody who blocks people, deletes people. You may change your name. It's this energy of you just refreshing yourself. Like you could be the kind of person, pal number one, that if you went through a breakup or a divorce with somebody who lived with you, you would like change the locks, change the security system. Like you do things like that, or you may change your phone number. There's something about you changing where people can't find you. It's like you even may move. Maybe you move to another state without telling anybody. It's this energy of like once you are out of somebody's life, it's really hard for them to reach you. It's like they can't even do it in social media because, like I said, you may have blocked them or changed your name. It's like it's hard for them to locate you. It's kind of like you're off the grid once you're no longer connected with someone, okay? You could be a Virgo because you go into hermit mode a lot. Okay. The next card we have is the Knight of Cups. So people are realizing that they want to apologize to you. They want to speak to you. It's like you may have a lot of people that have so much to say to you, but I feel like being in your energy, pal number one, it doesn't even matter to you because you've evolved from so much that these apologies don't mean anything. It doesn't matter. It's like you've let it all go. You've forgiven. You've let bygones be bygones. And it's like, I feel like these apologies, some people are actually sorry, but a lot of these people just hope that if they say sorry, they can get back into your good graces. But it's like, again, it's permanent access. They've lost permanent access. It's not, okay, we're not going to be cool for a couple of years and then you can come back into my life. It's like, no, it's forever. It's until we go into that in that grave. It's over. And it's hard for people to accept that. It really is. Then we have the Page of Cups. So people are realizing that they want a new beginning with you, but it's like they can't. It's like you're having this party that they're not invited to. People are realizing that they're no longer a part of your life and it hurts them. I feel like people took you for granted. A lot of people thought you would always be there. And I feel like not only did you leave these kinds of people, I feel like you left like people pleasing behaviors behind. I feel like you've let go of a lot, pile number one, not just people. And it's why you've evolved and moved to a higher timeline. And like I said, people keep reflecting. Because on this Page of Cups, it's like this person is looking at themselves. They're looking at themselves in the water. So it's like you make people look at themselves because they have to think and sit with themselves and ask themselves, like, what did I do to lose this person? Because this was such a good person. And people reflect on that. I feel like you have the kind of love, pal number one, that people will always remember. It's unconditional, it's unique, it's the kind of love that it's rare. So when you leave somebody's life, they don't feel something like that ever really, you know? I don't think they ever get to really experience it again because energies like you are sent as a blessing. Energies like you, pal number one, are sent to help people elevate and be the light in their life. And a lot of times people will take that for granted because they're not used to it, you know? And that's not your fault, pal number one. People shouldn't take things for granted just because they're not used to it, but it's just the way that a lot of people operate, unfortunately. So I'm sorry if you've had to go through things like that, but I want you to know that people are reflecting on the ways they've treated you. They're looking at conversations they've had with you. I feel like you have people drinking and crying over you, pal number one. Just because with this cups energy, it's making me think about somebody drinking wine or venting to somebody. So these people may like talk about like fond memories with you. They may cry to other people about you because you were one of the best friendships or one of the best romantic relationships they've ever had here. I feel like people may categorize you as like the realest that they've ever had because you are. Okay. The next card that we have is the Moon. So people are realizing that they have deep emotions for you, but it's this energy of it being like too late. It's too late. Too little, too late. That's what I'm picking up. It's like people are realizing that they have these deep emotions for you, but they can't really do anything with them because you're not going to accept it anyway. So they might as well go somewhere else with it or throw it away. It's like you you come off a little bit more cold to these people, pile number one, but it's just because They abused your kindness way too much. I feel like people reflect on how they made you feel. They reflect on your emotions because people do see this change in you and they wish that they didn't contribute to your pain. Okay? Because it's this energy here of like people realizing like, oh my God, I hurt pal number one's feelings. Why did I do that? Why did I say that? But it's like you're just realizing that now. It's like these people could have delayed you know how people say they have a delayed response? This is different. It's like they have delayed accountability. That's what spirit is telling me. Delayed accountability. It's like you're just now realizing that that was wrong 3 years later. It's like because they never really were introspective about it, but they have to be now. I feel like pal number one, you are elevating in your life and it's evident. And people from your past are comparing themselves to you because in those years they've done nothing but judge people, talk about people, have unhealthy relationships, and just not really do anything to make their lives better. All they've done is compare and judge and envy other people. But with you, pal number one, you've done the work. You had to go through the pain, but you found the light at the end of the tunnel. And you were okay with being alone. Pal number one, that's something you've learned to conquer. Being alone and learning to love yourself. And this is something people are realizing about you. They're realizing that you're someone who should be valued because once people lose access to you, that's it. It's very hard to reconnect with you once you've already severed that cord, pal number one. The next card we have is the ninth house. This talks about spiritual values. So people are realizing that you have a lot of spiritual values, but also the ninth house is about travel. So you could have moved away from people. I literally said that. Like you could have moved away. So people, maybe these are like old neighbors or people you used to like go to school with or be around. They're thinking about you and they're reflecting on how they treated you. There's a lot of that here. People reflecting on how they treated you. It's kind of like everything is clearing up now. There was some type of fog surrounding you, pal number one, or surrounding a situation, but it's clearing up. And it's like now people see where they went wrong with you. Because I feel like in the past, these people could have been projecting blame onto you. And I feel like you just distanced yourself and you found yourself though. So I feel like you're not, that's why I said the apologies don't even matter because this was all for your growth and it's a journey that you're grateful for because you had to do it alone. You had to walk it alone. And this is the thing about people. They never want to be there with you through the journey, but they want to be there at the destination. That's what I'm picking up with a lot of people because you are somebody who is successful and you're just going to become more and more successful within your life, pal number one. That's just your energy. That's what you're here to do. That's why you came to this earth, okay? Not only that, but I'm just saying like a major part of you being here is being successful and influencing and helping other people, okay? So people are realizing that you have a big purpose here. They're realizing that you're very educated as well and that they can learn a lot from you. I feel like people try to downplay you a lot, pal number one. It's like I said, there was this type of fog surrounding you. Like it wasn't clear, but it's clear now. Okay. That's why we have a lot of water energy. It's clear because we got the moon, we got the page of cups, the knight of cups, a lot of water. You could be a water sign, but things are clear now and people are seeing things clearly. And even themselves, it's like they're looking at themselves different. I feel like you caused a spiritual awakening in a lot of people. Pile number one with this ninth house energy. You have. And you've taught a lot of things, especially like your philosophies. But yeah, let's get more into these cards. We have the first house here. So I feel like you completely transformed yourself. This is Aries energy. So you have a lot of new beginnings in your life. People are realizing that you have new beginnings in your life because you let go of the past. You shed those illusions and you did not allow people's projections to define you. You knew that people thought things about you that weren't true, but you didn't take it on. You didn't try to defend it and you just let it go because you knew that over time, because there's that emphasis with time again. You knew that over time the truth was going to come out, and it has. And that's why you kept your peace. That's why you didn't get hyphy. That's why you didn't react. I feel like when you went through all these situations, pal number one, because I'm getting this energy of like people misunderstanding you on purpose or just people going against you. You went through a lot of that so that you could see how strong you were, so that you could realize you didn't need all these people. The only person that you need is yourself and the Most High, of course. You know, you have become more ambitious through being alone. I feel like you've learned yourself because pile number one, people try to convince you that you were somebody else. And we're going to get more into that in pile number two because I was picking that up more in that energy. So you may even resonate with pile number two, okay? But what I'm getting here is that you found yourself and you really seen who you were. It's like you took off the mask that other people tried to put onto you. When people don't understand you, pal number one, they will try to attribute certain things to you or they'll try to assign certain things that are not true, but it's because they're trying to make sense of who you are and they can't. A lot of the times people are wrong and you have to let them be wrong because they're going to look stupid and you're going to get the last laugh, okay? You just got to sit back and just let people believe what they want to believe because it's going to teach you. It's going to teach you about people. Because if people can go against you because of what one person says, I feel like you went through a lot of that, pal number one, like other people believing what other people have said about you and that influencing how they see you or how they treat you. And now they feel stupid. A lot of these people feel dumb because you are somebody that's being recognized in your community. I'm really picking that up, pal number one. You're somebody that it's like you, the star card is not here, but there's something about you having some type of star quality. It's like you are showing more of yourself. You're letting go of your fear of being seen. And it's like you're showing yourself. So people try to say you were this and that, but you were never that. You're showing them what you actually are. You're showing people who you truly are, and they're realizing that the ideas and the thoughts that they had about you were wrong. I've been getting this theme a lot within my readings, but I really believe that was because 2024 was that 8 year. It was a karmic year, and it was a year of justice. And this is a number 9 year, and this is the year of when people are going to get that judgment for good. So this kind of energy makes sense, pal number one, because it's the energy of something being permanent. So you healing your fear of being seen, that's going to be something that's permanent, okay? But these people, they will be up under judgment, okay, permanently because of the way that they treated you. People don't realize like you cannot just treat people poorly. People will do things like that and not realize that this is going to come back on me. People don't believe in karma like they say they do. They'll put a Bible verse in their bio and go to church on Sundays and think that's protecting them, but they're spreading evil eye Monday through Saturday, you know? And it could be the same thing in the spiritual community. You'll have people trying to do spells on other people, but sitting here saying, Spirit, protect me. But look what you're doing. So it can go both ways, you know? And I'm not shading anybody, okay? I'm just saying that people can be hypocritical, okay? And then they realize that they're wrong later on. So you could have dealt with a lot of hypocrites here, pal number one. Just people just not, because I'm getting a lot of mental confusion and people manipulating your people's perception of you through words. So you could have gone through some gossip here, but I feel like you've overcome so much of it that it doesn't even matter. I feel like people may still try to say little things, but it all just shows how miserable they are and it shows how much of a liar they are. Because part number one, I feel like you get up every day and you put in 100%, even if you don't want to. You put in 100% for your goals and for your ambitions. You have a drive about you. Other people don't have it. That's why they get mad. But you really have that drive. You're not trying to post for social media. You're doing things because you want to do them, not because you want to have 100 likes. It's because this is what you want with your life. And people don't understand that because a lot of people want to live a social media life where they're happy on social media but unhappy in real life. It's like you're happy on social media and happy in real life. People don't understand that. But it's not meant for them, right? The next card we have is nature. So people feel that, you know, you're very spiritual, okay? Whether you're religious or spiritual, take what resonates. People feel that you're very much connected to nature. So maybe butterflies like to be around you, or you may have a green thumb, pile number one. So you may post pictures of flowers and plants, or you just may like to spend time by the water. but people really see you sometimes kind of like a hippie. People are realizing that you're very much connected to nature. People are realizing that you smell really good. I don't know why that came through, because there's something about a flowery scent. So maybe somebody here has a flower perfume, and every time people are around you, they smell that, and then they realize that it's you. Like you have a scent that introduces you. So, for example, somebody could wear Japanese cherry blossom, something like that, or some type of like sweet pea, some type of fragrance that is like flowery, and it's like your what is that word I'm looking for? It's like your signature scent. Yeah. Okay. But also, people just realize that you really love nature. You like to spend time in nature. Maybe you like to go camping. You like to go hiking. People may not think that about you at first glance, because maybe you're somebody who's so well put together. So they're like, "Oh, pal number one wouldn't want to go in nature." Like I've had people think that about me, because like I have a neat appearance. People think that I'm so scared of bugs, but little did people know, like when I was growing up, I was a tomboy, so I was always outside with all types of things. So it's like I'm not afraid of, getting a little dirt on me and having fun and camping and going swimming. But, people will assign certain stereotypes to you because of how you look. And I feel like that's very much evident in your reading, pal number one. You've had people try to place projections on you because of your appearance and just because of how you present yourself. But I feel like the way that you've presented yourself has changed, and it's become more true to your core and more true to who you are. I feel like you've become more comfortable in yourself, pal number one, and this is something people are realizing about you. You have ideal partnership, and didn't I say your love was rare? Because right here it says, "I am a rare and precious find." Okay, so you are rare. Okay, that's what people are realizing. And with ideal partnership, is people that feel like they should have married you. They feel like they should have stayed in a relationship with you. They feel like they should have stayed friends with you. No matter what it is, people see you as a good person to have any type of connection with, because your love is genuine, and it's not something that you can find every day. Okay. The next card we have is everyone's a teacher. So you may literally be a teacher, pile number one, because the ninth house is Sagittarius energy. So you could teach, or you could have graduated, or there's something with your education. People are realizing you're very intelligent, very intellectual, very studious, very strategic and clever. This is something that people are realizing about you. People really feel that you taught them something, okay? Because this next card says, "I've learned my lesson." And then it has the teacher card. So you could actually teach and be a really good teacher. People are realizing that you're good at teaching, or that you could have a degree in teaching, something like that, or that you teach them without even realizing it, because you're leading by example, or you're teaching them something by your example, okay? The next card we have is "Unblock Me, Please." So there's people that want you to unblock them, pal number one, but I wouldn't if I was you. Then we have "I Wish I Could Look Like You." Okay. So you could be, like I said, that's why I was picking up that you were judged for your appearance. So there's people who want to look like you. Pile number one. I don't feel like you're somebody who's very vain. I feel like you're beautiful, but it's not very important. Like, you know what, pile number one, you may like Diane Carroll, or you may have that kind of energy to her. Let me see what her zodiac sign is. Hold on. Because, yeah. But I just remember this interview with Diane Carroll, and she was saying how beauty, it's nice to be thought of as beautiful, but that's not what's number one in her life, like that's what she said verbatim. Like, I'm not saying it word for word, but that's what she said in a nutshell. Like, yes, beauty is important. It's nice to be thought of as beautiful, but that's not the number one thing in my life. And that's how you are, pile number one. So I think she is a Cancer. So somebody here could be a Cancer, because remember I said we had a lot of water sign energy. Yep. Yep, it's a Cancer. So yeah, And then we have Aries. So we have the first house too, and that's also Aries. So you have a lot of new beginnings within your life. People see you starting over. You could be finding new friends, pal number one. You could be finding a better job that suits you. You could be finding even a better romantic partner. But it's like you're in this season of new beginnings and you're happy with your life because you made this new beginning happen. You let go of old patterns and even people so that you could have this fresh new start. Then we have a song by Willow Smith called Time Machine. So people really do want to go back in time with you, okay? They want to come back into your life. That's why I was saying, like, people may mourn you because you're somebody who's rare. It's like, pile number one, your energy is so beautiful. It's like a comet that comes every 1,000 years. You know, you are not really of this world. And that is why people miss you so much when you're gone, because that love hits different. And it's because God's light shines through you. People can feel that because that's God's love. That's Spirit's love, you know? Then we have, you're the only one. So, yeah, you're rare, you're unique. And people are realizing that people like you don't come too often, okay? People really feel that your brain is beautiful. I feel like a lot of people hold back compliments they want to give you, pal number one, because of what they used to say and the things that they used to project onto you. It's like they're getting a wake up call about you, but they're getting a wake up call about themselves because they're like, they're having to really reflect because they're like, okay, if I had a false judgment about pal number one, what are my other false judgments I've had about other people or situations in my life or even within myself? Like, you just make people dig deeper. And I feel like you always are somebody who's willing to go on a journey within. I feel like you're always learning new things about yourself, and every little new thing you learn, you give that to somebody else. It's like gems. It's like you go inside your diamond mine and you get these gems and you give them to other people. And that is how you spread your knowledge and your love and your wisdom. So you could be a really good teacher, a really good motivational speaker here, or just a spiritualist. Maybe you're into spirituality and it's really helping you to grow and it helps other people. Okay. So keep doing what you're doing, pal number one. You're doing good things. Keep up the boundaries. People from the past don't need access to you. Okay. Okay. We're going to go ahead and move on to pal number two. Mwah. Peace. So, pal number two, people are realizing that you are no longer sleeping on yourself, okay? And I actually looked up this word right here, and it's a Turkish word. Right here, it's umitva. I'm not sure if I'm saying it correctly, but it means hope. So people are realizing that you didn't lose hope in yourself. Like, you had faith. It's like you have this, it's this energy of, like, have you seen those movies where it's a person that makes a discovery and it's like nobody's listening to them and nobody believes them, but then that discovery cures something or makes the world better? That's the kind of energy I have for you, pal number two. That's what I was channeling a lot of, like, people being naysayers, and then you actually became what you said you were going to do, or you've awakened to your power. Okay, pal number two, that's what I'm picking up for you mostly. It's like you did the things you said you were going to do. I remember when I was younger, I had people telling me, you're not going to do this, you're not going to do that. And like, people were so sure about it. And it's like, how can you be sure about what I'm going to do? But you know why? They're so sure because they so sure about themselves not being able to do it. People don't believe in themselves, so it's harder for them to believe in other people. People naturally think that other people are like them. It's like an ego thing. They don't understand that people are different and separate from them. Well, let me not say separate because we're all connected, but you know what I mean. Like, you still have your own preferences and things like that. So you can't really project all of who you are onto another person, you know? But yeah, people are realizing that you're in your villain era, and the word villain often has a negative connotation. So let me put it like this. It's not in a negative way. Pile number two, that you're in your villain era right now. This is you standing your ground. You're speaking your truth. You're speaking up for yourself. You're telling people how you feel. And you're putting some respect on your name. That's what Spirit is saying. Like, you're putting some respect. So pile number two, maybe you weren't somebody who would curse like at people, but now you're like, you would be quick to tell somebody like, hey, shut the fuck up talking to me. Like, excuse my French, but you know what I mean. Like, you can do it classy, you know, but it's like, Power number two is like you have that fire awakened in you to where you're advocating for yourself and you're not worried about what other people think. And if somebody's coming for you, it's like you're ready. You're not backing down. It's like maybe in the past, pound number two, you were afraid of conflict, but it's like you're not afraid of it anymore. It's like you've really awakened to that divine feminine and masculine within you. You may really work with the goddess Kali Ma, because that's who I'm picking up, like that kind of energy where it's like, I'm ready for you. Try me if you want to. It's that kind of energy you have now, like try me if you want to and see what happens. And I feel like some people feel that energy on you and they understand immediately, like, no, I'm not gonna try pound number two, but it's still people who want to, and then they realize why they shouldn't try you. They always do. It's those people who are hard headed, but you gotta fuck around and find out. Excuse me, pound number two. I had to get something to drink real quick. But yeah, people are realizing that you know your worth. You know you're beautiful. It's like this energy, pound number two. I talked a little bit about it in pound number one, but it came through stronger in this pile. It's like pound number two, people were trying to hide your beauty from you, your gifts from you. It's like people would see that you were gifted at things, but they wouldn't tell you. So this is the kind of energy. It's like you could be somebody that was really smart in school, but your teacher would give you a low grade on purpose because they didn't want you to know how smart you were. It's this kind of energy. You could even have family members who wouldn't tell you that you were doing a good job at something, or who wouldn't compliment you on purpose because they didn't want you to see yourself in high regard. They didn't want you to see what everybody else could see, obviously. Because your gifts, your beauty, your aura is obvious, pound number two, but it's like people didn't want you to see that. You could even have friends and relationships with people trying to purposely break down your self esteem so that you don't see how beautiful and valuable you are. And it's like, you now see that, and it's like now they're scared because I kept on getting a channel message for you. Pound number two is the queen is coming to rule. And it's the same thing if you're a man. The king is coming to rule. If you're non-binary, it's the same thing. Like there's this royal energy to you, and it's like you're coming to sit on the throne. Okay, some of you could have been rulers in your past life, because I was picking up like ancient Egypt and like the pharaohs and stuff. You could have had a past life where you had some kind of authority. And it's like in this lifetime, you're activating that energy. Because I'm hearing the word inheritance. So it's like in this lifetime, you're inheriting it, but from your ancestors. Some of you could work very close with your ancestors or just other deities, but you have a high spiritual ranking, pound number two. And it's like you see that. You've activated your authority, and other people can feel that. That's why I said you have that energy where it's like, see, try me and see what happens. Because it's like your ancestors stay ready to. So that's this energy too. Like pound number two, it's like you are very sweet and kind, but it's like there's something about you where people are like, it's like a touch me not kind of energy, but people still will try you. So let's get into these cards. So we have the Queen of Wands followed by the King of Swords. That's why I was picking up that royal energy. But more specifically, it's like you're coming to rule, you're coming to sit on the throne. And this is so interesting. With the King of Swords card, it's like there's some scales. You're coming to balance things out. Because I was hearing that the last shall be first and the first shall be last. So it's like, it's your time, pound number one. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to say pound number one. You may resonate with that pile, but pound number two, it's your time, okay? I feel like 2025 is your year. It's your year to shine. You have a lot of good things in store for you. I feel like you have a lot of growth and character development, but you also have a lot of blessings and rewards coming in because you've broken a lot of cycles. You've ended a lot of generational curses. And one of the generational curses within your family, pound number one, was, being afraid to share your gifts and allow yourself to be seen. And it's like you've allowed yourself to be seen and you didn't listen to the naysayers, and you allowed yourself to be confident, because confidence is not arrogance. I feel like that's something that you used to battle with, and that could be something that your family would battle with, like people accusing them of being arrogant when they were confident. And some people just can take that as the worst thing, but it's like sometimes your confidence can trigger people, but it doesn't make you arrogant. We all need to feel good about ourselves. There's nothing wrong with loving who you are, and you have mastered that. Pound number two. I feel like you do have more boundaries, and I feel like You're not as open as you used to be. So people have to work hard to be in your orbit. That's what spirit is saying, your orbit, because you have a small circle, like a lowercase o, you know? It's like you're not really going to allow that many people around you. Like you're fine with having associates, pal number two, but when it comes to people being like deep, close friends or like best friends, it's like it's going to take them a while to get to that level. You're not just giving yourself to anybody. You've learned the value of yourself. You've also learned the value of energy and giving reactions. So you know how to regulate your emotions. And this is something people are realizing about you. People can see the work you've put in and they can see how much you care about yourself because of what you no longer tolerate and the respect that you now demand. It's like your energy commands respect. And this is something people are realizing about you. The next card we have is the Knight of Swords. So, pile number two, you could be talking your shit more. Like I'm saying, like you could cuss more, or it's just something like you're no longer holding back. You could be reading people like on social media without even realizing. Like maybe you make a post and it's like people that are lurking, they needed to see that so that they could stay off your page. It's like you don't even realize it. You know, you eating them up. That's what spirit is saying, and it's so funny because it's like it took you a while to get here, and I feel like you used to be so scared to like hurt people's feelings or step on toes and ruffle feathers, but I feel like now you don't care. You have this I don't give a fuck energy, and spirit really loves that. Spirit is like, yes, you know, stop people pleasing, stop caring what people think, and be yourself. You have to, because people are always going to talk about you. And let me tell y'all something. One of my favorite YouTubers, I love her so much. Her name is Sapphire. I love her so much. And she was just saying some real shit. She was just like, people are already going to see you as the villain anyway. So why are you trying to please them? Like that freed me from a lot. And I hope that frees you, pal number two. Like people already have preconceived notions. So why are you trying to work so hard to go against something that they're going to believe anyway? You know? And I feel like you've learned to master that pile number two. And that's something people are realizing, that you don't care what they think. It's like you don't hold other people's opinions in high regard like you used to. And some people are kind of offended by that pile number two, because they're like, who does, you know, some people, like I said, take it as arrogance, but it's like, no, who do you think you are to think that I should take in your opinion of my life? Like a lot of people will come into your life thinking that they're your financial advisor, your mental health advisor, your spiritual advisor, your relationship counselor. Like they'll try to come into your life and give you guidance on what you need to work on. Meanwhile, their life is fucked up. Meanwhile, their chakras are unaligned. Meanwhile, they don't even take care of themselves. Meanwhile, they don't even brush their teeth. But they worried about what you got going on. You know what I'm saying? It's this energy pile number two of you just like, you know what? I'm going in. I'm not, no remorse. It's this energy of like no longer having mercy for people because people are aware of what they're doing, and it's like, let me put you in your place. But I feel like you do it respectfully. Pound number two, of course. I don't feel like you've gotten aggressive about it, but it's like people are just realizing that you're just not gonna entertain their shenanigans anymore. The next card that we have is Saturn. So you have this authority to you. Pile number two, you have authority. Maybe you have authority at your job, or you're on a platform where you have an authority or you have a following. Okay. But if not, your energy just carries this. You could be a Capricorn here. Okay. Then we have Libra again. There's something about the scales being balanced. Justice is being served. So people are realizing that. I feel like you have a lot of people scared. Pile number two, because a lot of people may feel like you're about to take their position or take their place. It's like their time is up, though. Their time is up. That's what I'm picking up. Yeah. Because the last is going to be first. There's going to be a big shift for you this year, pile number one. I keep saying pile number one, so you might as well go click on that one. But pile number two, I feel like spirit is going to place you in positions of authority. And the people that, because sometimes people's ego are in the way and they'll think that they're better than you, but then God will make them your footstool. God will make your enemies your footstool, and they have to sit and see how great you are. Because some people will try to say you're not great because you don't have something materialistic or you don't have a certain status, but it's in your energy. You don't have to have the status, the money, the cars, any of that. It's in your energy. Okay. And people are realizing that you can't be fucked with. That's just what's coming through. Okay. Karma is balancing out. So people could be getting their karma and they're reflecting on that, okay? And how they treated you. So with Pisces being here, you could be somebody who's very creative and people are seeing your creations, and it's some your creations could be healing. So you could make things that heal people. Like you could make self-care messages, something that's creative but it's also healing and it's also introspective for people. So it could be like guided meditations or subliminals. You could even write poetry. There's some type of art you make, okay, that is very healing to people, and this is something people are realizing. With the third house being here, people are realizing that you're putting your ideas out there more. You're not hiding yourself. You are overcoming other people's opinions of your work and what you think. You could have Saturn in your third house, and it's like you're overcoming the fear of speaking up. So people see you speaking up more. That's why I was saying you're talking your shit more. And the third house is Gemini energy. So you could be communicating more than what people are used to. And this is something that they're realizing. Then we have the manifestation card. So you're doing everything you said you were going to do. People are seeing your manifestations come to fruition because you could have told people these things years ago and it's happened. Okay. So you're teaching people that manifestation is real. The things that we desire, we can have as long as we believe. The next card is clarity. So people are realizing that you've gotten some type of clarity about yourself, but you also have some clarity about them because there's just certain people you don't let around you anymore. You're taking better care of your health. So people are realizing that you take better care of your health. You eat better, you look better as well. People are realizing that you don't allow yourself to be around negative people. Okay, you could be an Aquarius as well. You could listen to J. Cole because I just got a reference of J. Cole. It was this post. I don't know if it was true or not, but it was on Facebook and it was like this post and it was like J. Cole heard us. I think it was a singer he was working with, and she said that J. Cole had heard them speaking negatively and he was up out of there. Like he got out of there quick. So that's this kind of energy too with you, pal number two, where it's like you have a low tolerance for BS. And this is something people are realizing, like they have to come correct or don't come to you at all. The next card we have is get centered. So you could be somebody who's also very spiritual, very in tune with God, but I feel like you could be meditating more and people just see you as peaceful and unbothered. Like I said, people are realizing that they can't fuck with you. They can't get a reaction out of you. It's like when people try to get a reaction out of you, you know how to alchemize that energy and use it for your highest good. You can use that energy and disperse it out and help so many people with what somebody sent you to be negative. You used it for good. Okay. So you are a master at a lot of different things. You alchemize a lot of different things. You have a very beautiful heart, pile number two, and you can endure a lot. Your strength is inhuman. Okay. That was one of the channel messages. I'm going to read them at the end because you are the only pile that got channel messages, pile number two. But the reason why you've been able to overcome so much that has been thrown at you and been able to overcome mental difficulties, whether this is depression, anxiety, or any other like mental health disorder, you've been able to overcome a lot because of your connection with God. God has granted you this strength. Okay, pile number two. And if you pray for strength, it will really help you. I recommend praying for strength because you will be surprised. The last card we have is authenticity. So people are realizing, like I said, you are who you say you are. Back to that manifestation card. You did what you said you were going to do. It's like the receipts check out. You're not an imposter. You are who you say you are. And they have to reflect on themselves, okay? So that is the end of the reading, pile number two. Let me get into your channel messages. So, pile number two, you're being woken up to your greatness, okay? So, people have tried to hide a lot of things from you. They tried to hide your power from you, but you're awakened to it now, okay? So, you are in your element right now. And it's why people are at the edge of their seats because they know that it's this energy of people pretending to have a certain, how do I put this, pile number two? And then we're going to end this reading. But it's like people pretending they're really the imposters, like being in a position that was made for you, but thinking that it's meant for them. Mm-mm. That's why I was giving like somebody's time is up. So this could even be a position, like a job position. Like there's some type of position that you're going to be elevated to that somebody else was not supposed to be in. Okay, people are realizing that. So some people could like this could even be like at your job. People could feel like, oh my God, this person is gonna take my spot because of how good they are, or even if this is online and people see you as competition. It's things like that. Like whatever you're doing, whatever wherever you put this art at, it's very helpful. Okay. No matter what. And you have people inspired and you have people wanting to emulate you, but just always continue to be yourself, pal number two, no matter what kind of energies come your way, because God got you. Okay, always. If people want to emulate you, that means you're doing something right. Okay, you're the trendsetter. All right, let's see if I have any other messages. You're hard to impress. You're all action, no talk. You're self made. Didn't I say they want to replicate you? Mm-mm. There's something about your isolation. You being in isolation leveled you up. And like I said, people want to be like you. The scales are balancing. Okay. The scales are balancing. So you could be a Libra here or just a cardinal sign. You could be a Cancer, Capricorn, Aries, or Libra, or that could be prominent in your birth chart. Take what resonates. But yeah, thank you so much, pal number two, for coming to this reading. Mwah. Peace. Before you go, please check out my courses. All you have to do is become a member on my Patreon and you're automatically enrolled, okay? I have information here on YouTube, on my Facebook business page at Tarot with Blossom. I have it on Tumblr. So please, and on my community tab. So, and I'm going to tell y'all something too. Please don't ask me questions that I've already answered, because a lot of the questions you all ask me, all you have to do is look at my community tab, because I'm constantly updating it and letting you all know information or new things I'm doing. So please look at that. I find it a little bit rude if you're not looking at it and then asking me questions and then getting upset at me when the answer is there. It doesn't take you that long to just scroll down and look at the community tab. We're always scrolling. So if you can scroll on TikTok, you can scroll on my community tab. Okay. And it's all love. I just want that respect there and that understanding. All right. If you give me grace, I'll give you grace too. All right. All right. Thank you so much for coming to this reading. I greatly appreciate the support. There is more in store. Just be patient and continue to love yourselves and have an amazing, blessed day, night, or whenever time you're watching this. Mwah. Peace.